and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 24th of November, 2024. This is Ariel Gatoga, and today I am reading with one of my favorite decks, the Tarot Noir, and I'm going to purify with one of my favorite colognes, the Florida Water. I put some in a spray bottle here so I can spray 3 times in this big room. You can find links to purchase these products right in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. Let's see what's in the cards for everybody today. Starting out with the lovely Knight of Cups, followed by the 3 of Swords, and then the 7 of Cups. Okay, you know, there's loss in the air. There's some kind of tragedy in the air. There's tears, pain. And it's really easy when the ego gets a hold of that to believe that that's all there is. But that's not the truth. In fact, you're in the midst of an upgrade. And you don't want the ego, for one thing, we don't want to minimize any pain that you're going through. So if you're going through loss, if you're going through pain, if you're going through grieving of any sort, we don't want to say, oh, you know, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. And you want to honor that and you want to go through it. And at the same time, you don't want to make it the only thing in your life, because 2 things can coexist. You can have that, but you can also have the upgrades that are happening. You can also have all the intuitive powers that are guiding you out of the pain and into the upgrade. And so it's the ego wants us to believe that we're being disloyal somehow if we are guided out of our pain, if we heal from a loss. Somehow we're being disloyal. And I guess that means that we're just supposed to stay in grieving for the rest of our lives or something. But it's not the case. And we don't want to buy into that, because the ego loves to try to convince us that there's no hope for us, and that we just the only hope there is to be content with whatever it is that we're experiencing, and sort of try to get comfortable in that, and nothing better will ever come. And that's of course not true. And you know this intellectually, that things change, and in this world, change is the only permanent thing. It's the only constant. And that's why when I think it was a Buddhist, but I think it was a Buddhist master asked the riddle, what is something that you can tell somebody to a happy person that makes them sad, and a sad person that makes them happy? And the answer is, this too shall pass. And it's exactly the truth. And it shouldn't make you sad when you're happy. It should just make you understand that the things of the world isn't where your happiness comes from, aren't where your happiness comes from. The things of this world are transitory, and that's the nature of this world. And that's why we call this world an illusion, because the part of you that knows the world, the part of you that observes the world, that's the constant. That's the part of you that's not subject to change. And so no matter whether your ego is telling you this is good or this is bad, there's a part of you that's just observing it without any judgment, without any qualifying. And that part of you is immune from the ups and downs, and from the pain and the suffering and the fleeting nature of our happiness and things like that. It's immune from all that. It's immune to all that, I should say. And that's what we want to learn how to tune into, so that no matter what appears to be happening on the screen of space, we understand that it's not real. What's real is the part of us that's observing it. And the good news is that the part of you that is observing it also has the power to alter things, to have preferences, and to, when we allow it to, have those preferences start to direct the general starts to direct the general navigate the direction of our ship. That's what I want to say. Point us to where we want to go rather than just, wherever life takes us. We've got a King of Wands, a Five of Wands, and a Four of Coins. This is a good configuration here. Having this Five of Wands on top of the Three of Swords is wonderful. It's saying, especially for those of you who are going through something a long time, that there's this sort of long suffering idea there. Eventually, that should make you mad that things aren't getting better, that things just seem to be going from bad to worse and then never resolving. And that should make you mad, because it's not the will of the universe that you be in a perpetual feeling of loss or pain or grievance or grief. And instead, that anger is a temporary fix that pulls you out of any kind of depression and brings you into the possibilities of what's available to you. And that is, like I told you before, an upgrade. And it's saying one thing you can do, if you notice that you're just fed up with it all, is start to get some things in order. Do something practical. Do something simple. Clean a drawer. Clean a room. Tidy your desk. Do something to make something orderly where there was disorder. And dedicate that to something that seems out of your control. So as I clean out this drawer, so does the universe clean up this problem for me. As I get this garage in order, so does the universe get my finances in order or get my relationships in order, whatever it happens to be. And then what you're doing is you are using the creative power of your mind to start doing being and having what you want, rather than what the ego is using the creative part of your mind for, and that's to hurt yourself. So that's what the ego basically is our own creativity used against ourselves. And we're saying instead, well, let's just use our creativity in a very simple way. You don't have to pull out all the occult scripts necessarily. You don't have to learn how to, do some kind of complicated ritual. Make it simple. Clean a drawer. Clean a room and dedicate it to whatever it is that seems too big for you. And watch as the things start to clean themselves up, and watch as you move out of this grieving. You move out of this loss. You move out of whatever this pain is, especially those of you who've been dealing with it for a long, long period of time, and you're just done with it, and you don't know how to get out of it. Like, I don't know how to get out of this. I want to. I'm doing all the affirmations. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I just still don't feel good. And that should make you mad. That should make you angry. And when you feel angry, get angry. Get angry about that. It's, again, we're not saying that anger is the ultimate goal, but it's a nice tool sometimes to use if it's this kind of anger where you're just like, no, I don't want this. I shouldn't have to put up with this. This is ridiculous. I'm so over this dumb stuff. And you just get mad, and you go and you do something to active with your body to move that energy. Run around the block. Pound a pillow, scream and yell, whatever you need to do. Don't do a toxic thing. It's better to have these kinds of tantrums in private so that you're not making other people feel bad. That's not the goal, is to get mad at somebody and have an argument. It's better to just acknowledge that the anger is there to bring you out of whatever this is and bring you into something better. But ultimately what you want to do with that is, like I said before, clean something up. Make something better. On a very small scale. Don't do big giant things, do teeny things. One drawer, one little, half of your closet, just the clothes that are hanging on the right side of your closet or whatever that is. Just find something small to do, but dedicate it. Dedicate it to something that seems out of your control. Now, this King of Wands is also reminding you that many of you have been putting on the back burner your greatest talents, your greatest gifts. Like, I don't have time to do that, or I'll never be able to do anything with that. I talked to somebody the other day, and they had this they had a degree in something amazing. I mean, they had worked and worked and worked. They got this degree and they're like, and I don't really use it. I never really did anything with it. And I said, why not? Why do you just give up on yourself like that? Don't do that. Go for it. Don't you love what you got your degree in? Yeah, of course I do. I love it. I would love to be able to use it. Well, wishing isn't going to make it happen. Doing it is going to make it happen. So make it happen. Right? And so we have to remember the reason why we have talents, the reason why we love certain things is because we're supposed to do them. Not put them on the back burner and bow down to the ego and say, yeah, I know it's painful. It's a painful world. I just have to be in the painful world and there's nothing that I can do about it. Wah, wah, wah. I mean, sometimes you got to go through those periods. Fine. You go through them for a brief period of time, but part of this is moving off of it and learning a lesson from it and remembering where your strengths are, remembering what you're good at. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater here. You've got amazing gifts that nobody else has in the same way that you do. And if you're not using them, you're not just depriving yourself, you're depriving the entire world. And I don't mean that figuratively, I mean that literally. The world needs you doing what you do well. And and it also can benefit greatly from you enjoying yourself and having a life well lived, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what people are doing or saying around you. The world will benefit more from you having a life well lived than from you just sitting and not having a life well lived and being in pain and thinking that is your lot in life, because it's not. So catch the wave of this upgrade. Do not let the ego hypnotize you into thinking this is the best there is for you, because it's not the case. That should make you angry and good. Let that anger motivate you to get busy. Start doing little things to change the energy so that you can start to remember who you are, what your talents are, and get back to business. You're going to do great. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. We'll see you for another daily reading on Wednesday. Until then, blessed be.